Welcome back to Talkville.
Welcome back to Talkville. We'll talk.
We're going to talk for a while. This Tom Price is here for a moment. We are the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast, and we go deep. And if you're loving this show, good, because that was the intention.
Let us know.
Yeah, well, it's great as we have a lot of patrons. A lot of really supportive people who give back to the show, who listen every week, get a lot of enjoyment from all the clips and the posts and everything that Bryce does and Jason. And there's a lot of content. And, it's nice that they actually, in return, give a little back to the show. Patreon.com/Talkville. Very important, especially if we continue the show to get as many patrons. We have sponsors, but we don't have as many sponsors, so we rely on patrons to support this show. So please get back, patreon.com/Talkville. If you didn't get a chance to call in our hotline, leave a question for this episode, make sure you do it for future ones. There's grand tier now, a top tier, tons of perks. Watch the show with us, blah, blah, blah. Check it out. You know what to do. Inside of You online store has tons of Smallville merch and autograph stuff, and so does the talkvillepodcast.com. My Instagram at the Michael Rosenbaum. Go to the link tree for all the cons and the Smallville cruise. Please come on the cruise. You're gonna have a blast. I mean, it might be the only one we do. There's the Chicago con with Smallville creation. Smallville, it's all Smallville. That went really well in New Jersey, so hopefully Ryan will be joining that. I'd love to get Bryce out to one, but
I will be. I'll be coming to Chicago.
Yeah, coming to Chicago. Oh, but before I say that, I just wanted. I haven't said it. I didn't say it last episode, but if you have a dog, Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. You just put a capful of the stuff in your dog's water. It's odorless, tasteless, and your dogs will have better breath. So grab a bottle on Amazon, Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. I mean, come on, your dog's breath's like crap. Do something about it, for the love of God.
You need a jingle for that.
Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath.
Next would be some food to go along with it.
Yeah.
Help your dog's gut. Maybe some AG1 food.
Ooh, maybe AG1 could do something with that. Without further ado, let's get into season 6, episode 20, Noir. Title Noir aired May 3rd, 2007. Director Jeannot Schwartz, the late and great Jeannot Schwartz. Writers Brian Peterson and Kelly Souders. I want to get a hold of them for an episode, but I don't know how to get a hold of them. They're not on Instagram.
I don't know either.
Email.
Guest star Aaron Ashmore. You know him. Alan C. Peterson as Senator Ed Burke. Richard Kahan as Brennan. The synopsis is when Lana's double crossing nearly leads to her death, it sends Jimmy into a 1940s flashback that helps him crack the case in the modern day. So pretty interesting they went for this. We'll see how we feel about it. Tom?
I'll say that the silver lining with this is it was a little different. I mean, it was a lot different. But because Jeannot directed it, I think it worked. And I say that because every character is acting a little differently. We're not sure how it's going to play. But when you have someone like Jeannot be like, to direct for,
guide
to watch, to guide you, then you can just play. And I remember having a lot of fun with this episode, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just kind of was like, I go, what the hell's going on? Why are we in the 40s? I had no idea why, but I was like, all right, we're in the 40s.
Well, they can't change your hair. Everyone else's hair changed for it, but they couldn't. I think that's
trivia
why.
question, not trivia question, but just some trivia for you. When in my scenes, I try to do a little bit of a Bogart-y, New York kind of like this, and then I realized, wait a minute, this doesn't work. Like no one else is doing this really. So I think I ADR'd a lot of those things. I told them I want to ADR the lines. You can't really tell, but there's a couple of things I remember going.
Well, you did that whole scene where it was pissing down rain, so you probably had to.
Yeah, but I remember I tried to go, what are you going to do? Huh? What are you going to do? Something like, I don't know. It just, I was like, I got to redo that. I remember I went to bed at night and go, what was I doing? Was anybody else doing that?
Lana, what are you doing? See?
Yeah, so you're going to shoot me what, Olsen? You
That
better
would have
shoot
been
me now. My
hilarious.
hat doesn't even fit my big ass head. This episode opens up with reused Batman B-roll as we find Jimmy and Chloe putting in extra hours at the DP. They play hooky and have a 1940s movie night until they hear a loud bang. They go to investigate and find Smallville's comatose queen laying in the elevator with a flesh wound. It's a whodunit. Unable to maintain the perimeter, the DP gets flooded with reporters, police, and high school friends there to figure out what happened to Lana. Lex shows up irate at his father as this all happened under his supervision.
After Lois contaminates the crime scene, Clark talks with Chloe about the mugging turned murder. He feels guilt for not stalking her in this instance, and Chloe begins to go CSI to find out who done it. As Jimmy leaves to develop some flip phone photographs, he gets pistol whipped back into the desaturated 1940s, swing dancing, zoot suits, and glass ceilings.
They did a great job. I mean, it really looked like it was, old school. It really played nicely. It was different. I was amazed by the cinematography. It looked really good.
It was fun. Have you guys seen the Bogart movie that they were showing? I have not.
No, I didn't see that one. But I did see The African Queen, Casablanca, and some others.
Murder on the Nile.
No, it wasn't called Murder in the Nile, was it?
No, that's a newer movie. It's pretty good, though. All those are...
Jimmy's new reality has him as the star reporter in the Daily Planet with Chloe Sullivan as his secretary. Clark Kent, the clumsy reporter with glasses, makes his entrance and still manages to make Jimmy jealous in his own dream. I thought, it's funny, Tom, when I was watching it, I thought, Tom nailed it. I did. I just immediately was like, Tom nailed it. Like he's in the zone. Jimmy receives a call. There's been a murder, or will be. He goes to meet with the caller, Mrs. Lana Luther, and she claims her husband Lex is plotting to have her killed. She gives money and a tip that leads Jimmy to investigate the Talon.
Clark Kent ditches the glasses and acts like a cool cat and pulls the strings to get Jimmy into the Talon. The convo gets interrupted by a nosy, penciled-mustached Lana Luther, but in the owner of the club and the main event of the evening, Miss Lois Lane. As Lois serenades the audience on stage, we see Lex lighting up in his corner of the room, mocking his father's fall from grace. Lionel feels the type of way and decides to give Jimmy intel about Lex's mysterious exits from the club every evening.
That sounds like your voice sounds like the ride. It's not a ride. It's the diner, the sci-fi diner at Disney World. It's like, then the incredible shrinking woman, a woman shrinking down to minimal size. Oh, great God.
And today we have the newsies.
It's the purple eating.
World War II.
Yeah. Jimmy decides to follow up on this tip and observe Lex's strange car swap as he leaves the town. He follows after him and sees Lex engaging in an affair with Lois. She's getting tired of playing second fiddle, and Lex reassures her that she won't have to worry about that soon enough. Jimmy does his best job at the technology of the day to snap a picture of Lex planning a big wet one on his mistress. This alerts Lex and sends him chasing after the reporter by car. It turns into a high-speed 60-mile-an-hour chase that ends with Lex flipping his car to avoid getting T-boned by a locomotive.
Jimmy heads right to the Lion's Den in Luther Mansion and finds Lana nervously chain-smoking and polishing off some sketch. Her fears of being targeted are confirmed when Jimmy shares the photo of Lex's affair, which got developed very quick, especially at that time period.
A month.
Yep. Jimmy tells her, "Don't worry, Toots," and gets gifted a gun on his way out. A lot of tiny guns.
A lot of tiny ones.
Just stashed everywhere.
I'd like a tiny gun.
Would you?
I mean, if I was going to get a gun, I'd get like a nice tiny one.
Like
you put them up there.
A little derringer that you could pull out of your bra.
That is derringer.
Or like a little sock one.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Or your stocking, your leg stocking.
Or a little 9mm.
Like an off-duty cop. Don't they keep their socks?
Anyway.
After picking up a new car for $800, Lex goes to a meetup spot to confront Jimmy. As they get doused with water, Lex makes threats against Jimmy, who holds the affair as blackmail to ensure his safety.
Lex defends his actions and goes to politely pull out an e-cigarette for Jimmy, who in turn pops a cap in Lex, killing him dead. That was a surprise.
Oh.
Yeah. Was this mimicking a plot of
it
something else?
It probably was, but nothing anybody saw.
It was kind of fun how they like inserted the characters like into a war situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was directly referenced to a storyline of a previous film, but I you know what I really enjoyed was Lionel. behind the bar.
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
scenes back.
He was fun. He was
great. He pulled off a little bit of the,
that swagger
accent.
and that feel.
Yeah.
After news of Lex's affair and murder makes its way over the airways, Jimmy decides to lay low and toss a few back in the Talon. Chloe finds Jimmy and lets him know that there have been an unusual amount of calls between Lana and Clark, alluding to Lana being the mastermind behind the whole operation.
I love that you guys are both talking like this right now.
Is it annoying the shit out of everyone?
No, I like it.
After Lana gets the news of her husband's death and Jimmy's suspicions, she gives the greaser boy toy a kiss goodbye and packs a pistol for the road. She confronts the dumbfounded Jimmy Olsen inside the Daily Planet, shooting him in the gut. Before he can get a second shot off, she gets hit by Clark Kent. Jimmy realizes his bullet hit the cigarette holder, and Clark comes out as an undercover cop who got in too deep.
Back to reality. Jimmy's 1940s cosplay is interrupted when Chloe wakes him up inside the DP. After being shot by Lana in Dreamland, Jimmy is now convinced that Lana isn't as innocent as her lifeless body seems to be. After using the elevator memory, Jimmy and Chloe find out that Lana was visiting the DP that night to meet with Brennan, a political reporter. Brennan decides not to flee the scene after his countless crimes, stumbles into his office, and gets accused by Clogemy. It's polygamy and clogemy. Sex with Chloe and Jimmy is clogemy.
Is it just when they have sex with each other, but she keeps thinking about Clark? Is that what clogemy is?
Clogemy. That's clogemy.
Clogemy.
Brennan claims his innocence, but before he can share why Lana wanted to meet, he eats a bullet to be a badass and chase after while Chloe calls 911 Clark.
It's a 2-on-1 fight.
Oh, boy.
The photographer nerd starts kicking ass, and Chloe manages to stumble over the stairwell, falling 10 floors to her death until she gets Clark caught by.
That was cool. That was really
Yeah.
cool. That was I wasn't expecting that, and she kept falling, and it was good. It was good production value. It was fun.
Yeah. Unexpected.
Jimmy rushes downstairs to the shock of his girlfriend's stunt falling 60 feet into a flimsy couch, but Chloe explains it away with a smooch. A smooch.
Lionel decides to surprise Lois inside her apartment, having one of his henchmen turn on the light for him. That's fun. It's that old trope, but have someone else do the light thing for you. He confronts her on tampering with evidence. They search her bag and find the cigarette case with a USB drive containing video of Lex discussing Project Ares with a senator.
Chloe stops by Lana's permanent room in Kent Medical and tries to figure out who wanted her dead. Instead of relaying the information leading back to the senator, Lana pins the murder attempt on Lionel, sharing that he has her spying on Lex. Chloe learns that Lana's deal with Lionel was born out of protecting Clark, and that's the only reason she went through with the wedding.
The whole noir part of it, I'm sorry. What was the point of it?
Yeah,
There was no point to it at all.
it was just to add some fun.
Yeah.
I think it was an index card, and they decided, well,
Let's do
Now's
a
the time.
noir. Does anyone know what that means?
I mean, I'm
Well,
glad
is it
we
also
did it, but
Jimmy-
it doesn't help my Rosenbaum rating because it like, I don't know.
was it also Jimmy's last episode where they're trying to give him like a big...
Was it his last episode?
Well, he leaves at the end. But anyway, we're back at the DP. Clark is on the outside of all the intel on this case. Clark figures out that Chloe is withholding information as she alludes to Lana taking a bullet to protect Clark. Lex visits his wife, who is resting in the hospital, and learns that not only is the assassin dead in jail, but also that it has his pistol that was found at the scene of the crime. Seems Lana is packing now.
The episode ends with product placement galore, with Chloe celebrating Jimmy's front page story as he gives her a goodbye iPod and tells her he's leaving on assignment to Milwaukee, exactly where the Laverne and Shirley show was filmed.
Dun, dun,
Bum,
dun.
bum, bum. Closing thoughts. So not only is Lana playing Lex, she's playing Lionel. Dangerous. Thinking, this is Smallville's second episode where it's told from the imagination of a character. The first being Chloe Sullivan in Thirst. Yikes. Respectively, this is so much better. You know, it's funny because I remember it. I remember doing it.
I remember the whole set smelled like cloves because of those cigarettes.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like a
I
big
remember
thing to like
smoking the hell
reset
out of
the
those cloves
cigarettes.
and feeling like shit after I did. They're not good for you. Smoking isn't good for you, people.
Believe it
Is
or
that
not.
what they put in a fake cigarette?
Well, there's cloves, but there's also, they have fake cigarettes, prop cigarettes that are just terrible. And they're probably worse for you than because there's other chemicals in it probably.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. They're not good for you.
Interesting things of note. The shot of the 1940s Daily Planet signage is from the 1950s TV show The Adventures of Superman starring George Reeves. Wow.
How did you know that, Bryce?
Bryce found it. I don't know. In the scene where Lois is singing, it was actually Erica Durant singing, much like Terry Hatcher did for a story in Lois and Clark in 1993. Did not know that. Weird, wild stuff. I recently had these fingers elongated. Ed, it's so cold, I saw Robin putting his worm in the microwave. In the comics, Lois was Lex's girlfriend prior to Superman's appearance.
What?
This is one of 2 episodes where Jimmy is the main protagonist. Lana's shoulder wound switches shoulders when she's in the hospital.
Oops.
Losers, someone dropped the ball on that one.
Probably just worked better for
Yeah,
the camera.
don't worry about it. No one cares. Yeah, they do. I bet a lot of people cared. Talkville is brought to you by AG1. We have talked about this for so many years now because they've been a sponsor of ours, and it's obvious we love them because AG1 really helps us. AG1, you know, Tom, we talk about this, but if you're going to start a new habit and you're doing a lot of the wrong things, it's so easy to start every morning with a glass of AG1. You just put it in a glass of water. You stir up a cup of AG1. It's delicious. I have focus. I have energy. It's got so many vitamins and minerals in there, probiotics. And believe me, I don't know, it's a game changer. I didn't know you're supposed to take prebiotics and probiotics, and I started taking them, AG1. It makes such a huge difference. I'm like less anxious because my stomach isn't, you know, all over the place. And I know you love AG1.
You get it all at one place, and it's easy to drink. It tastes good. Like it goes down easy. I really enjoy it.
AG1 has leveled up even more with their AG1 Next Gen. This upgraded formula has been clinically shown to increase healthy gut bacteria by 10 times, all for the same price of less than $3 per day. It's pretty amazing. You know, if you're taking all these pills every morning, because I was taking like 10 different pills, but AG1 had all those in it. So I threw them all away, and I take my AG1. It's pretty remarkable, and I know a lot of patrons love it now too. So get yourself some AG1 and start kicking it. Now clinically backed with an upgraded formula, this is the perfect time to try AG1 if you haven't yet. We've been drinking AG1, as we said, for years now, and we're so happy to be partnering with them. So subscribe today to try the next gen of AG1 for less than $3 a day. If you use my link, you'll also get a free gift with your first order. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/talkville to get started with AG1's next gen and notice the benefits for yourself. That's drinkag1.com/talkville. Talkville is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Talk about deals, Tom. You know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans, Tom? Getting burned by your old wireless bill. While you're planning beach trips, barbecues, and 3-day weekends, your wireless bill should be the last thing holding you back. And that's why we made the switch to Mint Mobile. With plans starting at $15 a month, Mint Mobile gives you premium wireless service on the nation's largest 5G network.
The coverage and speed you're used to, but way less money. So while your friends are sweating over data overages and surprise charges, you'll be chilling, literally and financially.
Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue.
Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number, along with all your existing contacts.
Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. That is insane. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/talkville. That's mintmobile.com/talkville. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com for details. Now it's time for the hotline. You guessed it. Crazy. We don't have a lot of recollection of this episode from our standpoint, so it's hard to really talk about, other than I remember I remember the rooms being smoky, of course, and coughing. I remember dressed to the T's. I remember everybody looked extravagant and elegant, and I think that's what most of the time took to get everybody to look so perfect. It was time consuming.
I remember all the black and white stuff because I was so nervous about how it was coming across, and Jeannot was there to protect us. But as far as the rest of it goes, no recollection.
No recollection. Here's our patron privilege, Ken the Limerick guy, who we love. We love all our patrons.
I wonder what his limerick is.
Hi guys, Ken the Limerick guy. I'm a big fan of black and white cinematography. I'm wondering if you're deep.
Ken, your video's not working. Sorry about that, but yeah, Ken wants to know about equipment specifics. It's just it's much more elaborate. The lighting, it has to be a certain way. In those old days, remember, they would throw so much light at things to make, to light them.
Well, a big part of that is when you're shooting black and white, you're not looking obviously for colors, you're looking for shades of color, because a red shirt obviously will not look red. It will look a different kind of black. And so the wardrobe has to understand that you're shooting in black and white at the same time as the cinematographer does. And those are all adjustments that would be made in pre-production.
I don't like episodes like these because it takes you out of it. It takes you out of like the reality of the characters that you're kind of following. And I'm not one of those guys who likes all of a sudden everybody breaks in a song. I mean, people love that shit, not me. If any show that I'm loving, I want it to be grounded. I want it to abide by certain rules that, but it's Smallville. I appreciated it. It looked cool, but I don't normally like stuff like this. Tom?
I agree that if I were to watch a show normally and they'd broken a song, I'd be a little upset about it. But I remember liking that it was something different. I do.
Ryan?
It was fun. Why not?
Ryan, you're a kiss ass.
So
no, but I mean,
so if all the kids in Stranger Things all of a sudden did a Noir episode, you'd be like, all right.
I bet they did something.
Well, they wouldn't do that now. After like 100 whatever episodes of this.
Yeah, you're trying to find some new things.
You're trying to find something.
Brian G.
Hi, this is Brian G. with a question for Noir. I really liked fully committing to a different genre in this episode and found that it used that lens to give us insight into how Jimmy sees everyone else. Would you guys have liked to see this kind of thing done from more characters' perspectives in other episodes? And what genres would you pick for Clark and Lex?
That's kind of interesting that I didn't think about that. That maybe in real life, Jimmy kind of is this kind of throwback kind of guy. Being the reporter, or being the photographer. And all that. That's kind of cool. I didn't thought about it that way. That's good.
Yeah, I can't imagine any other way. I like flashbacks. I like when there's flashbacks of when I was young, or flashbacks when Clark and Lex were young.
I'm really glad we didn't do like a flash forward into the future. I'm glad we didn't do that.
No, those ones are bummer.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Everybody's dead. Here's Cassie. Cassie, what do you got for us? Cassie?
Hi, my name is Cassie. I'm calling from Queens, New York. You had mentioned on a previous podcast that this was originally going to be a musical episode. Do you have any more information on that? Like, how far did they get in the process before they brought it to you? Did they have songs yet? Thanks. Love the podcast.
Thank
Bye.
God they didn't do a musical episode where we had to sing. She said this episode was supposed to be a musical episode.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I'm not bad. I just get a bad rap. I am bald. I'm going to take a nap. I am rich. You're a bitch. I'll kill you all. What's the hitch? Lex.
Well, I remember them originally. It was a musical episode. And I said, go ahead, but I'm not doing it.
Could you imagine? I'm in love with Lana, but I'll take Lois if I must. Lex is impeding on my Lana, and maybe it's just lust. We've
Well, folks,
had it
now we
out.
know what it would be like.
You were a bad son. My wife killed the wrong one.
Sherry. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do a musical. Not with Lex. It feels stupid.
Lex would be like the guy in Annie.
Hello, Sherry from Virginia. Why did they decide to do this Noir episode? I am sorry, but I would have loved to see more of the actual story, like the events leading up to Lana getting shot.
I'm
and
sorry,
the aftermath.
the number you
What do you
reached has
think?
been disconnected.
Thank you.
It sounds
Yeah,
very
that's-
professional or almost like a computer simulated thing. Um,
Bryce, are you having AI generate followers for us to call in?
Sherry, thank you. I don't know. It was filler. I think that's what it was. Jill and Brett. Jet. Or Brill.
Hi there. This is Brett from Jill and Brett. We're from Louisiana. We're big fans. And just how it was having to adjust your roles to fit those characters and being in that kind of 1940s style episode. And, you know, if that put you out of your element or if you liked it. Thanks a lot. Hope to hear back.
Yeah,
Get
you
back.
know, thanks, Jill and Brett. I don't know. It was just odd. I didn't really know how to act. I just kind of went with it and took the direction and just trusted. And I think that's all you could do. Tom?
Yeah. Pretty much the same.
But you guys had to have been in musicals growing up.
Yeah, I
otherwise
was.
you
I
wouldn't have
was in
acting.
Greece.
Yeah, like middle
No,
school.
senior in high school.
Oh.
Yeah, I played Vince Fontaine. Hey, it's the main brain Vince Fontaine spinning the stacks of wax here at the House of Wax, WAXX. Cruising time 1026. Sharpshooters pick hit of the week. A brand new one shooting up the charts like a rocket by the Ville du Rays. Going out to Ronnie and Sheila, the new kids down at Mom's School Store, and especially little Joe and Lila Don. Listen in while I give it a spin. I remember that.
Yeah.
And now you have podcasts.
Talkville is brought to you by Factor. Tom, I don't know why everybody doesn't use this service. I spend so much money on delivery services for food, or I go to the grocery store and spend a fortune and the stuff rots in my freaking refrigerator. It is ridiculous. With Factor meals, they're brought to you and they take like 2 minutes to make. We're in a hurry and they're delicious meals. Guys, summer is here. More sun, more light, more time to do all the things that make summer so special. And the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer is spending hours cooking inside. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well.
Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat. Perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond.
With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more.
Factor powers your day sun up to sundown with nutritious breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. Factor has your whole day covered.
Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor without the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/talkville50 off and use code talkville50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code talkville50 off at factormeals.com/talkville50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/talkville50 off. That's 50. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Boy, has BetterHelp helped so many people, including Ryan, our engineer, including so many of my friends and people around the world. Everybody knows BetterHelp, and they're doing a good service. Men today face immense pressure to perform, to provide, and keep it all together. So it's no wonder that 6 million men in the U.S. suffer from depression every year, and it's often undiagnosed. It's okay to struggle. Real strength comes from opening up about what you're carrying and doing something about it so you can be at your best for yourself and everyone in your life. If you're a man and you're feeling the weight of the world, just talk to someone. Anyone, a friend, a loved one, a therapist. Therapy empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it's for everyone. With over 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform. Join a session with a therapist at the click of a button and switch therapist at any time. That's a big, it's just such a great thing because I think people worry, what if I don't like my therapist, Tom? And the fact that you can switch it and you don't have to be uncomfortable or feel awkward, you just switch your therapists. It's entirely
Or also
online.
you don't have to drive an hour to go see somebody who then tells you it's time's up. Like you can do it in the comfort of your own home.
And it's so much more expensive, if you go to a therapist. It's amazing how much money you save using BetterHelp. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/talkville. That's betterhelp.com/talkville. Rosenbaum ratings system. 3 roses is the best.
Rosenbaum
3 bombs is the worst. We're going to go to Tom. Well, you know what? I'm going to go to me first. I'm going to give this a half a rose. It was fine. It's kind of whatever, but a half a rose. It was better than average, but not what wasn't really good. It was okay. It was,
I gotta give it a half because I don't think it really pushed the storyline all that much. The noir stuff was fun, but the last episode, which I gave a 1, at least moved the story better.
Why is it episode 19 that they do a noir at the end of the season where everything's like you get such big moments and character arcs and
you save a lot. You can save a lot of money because it's wardrobe.
You could also
and
shoot it in the
cinematography.
beginning of the season and save money.
I feel like this was one where they just had it in their pocket and they could have been slotted anywhere. They just waited a long time to put it in due to whatever. Because there was the WWE episode that probably coincided with some release.
Yeah,
it was like I don't know. We hadn't seen Jimmy in a while. Like we had to wait for the moment where Jimmy was back in the picture, but it could have been anywhere, and it happened to be here. Half a rose.
All right, death and save count 2 dead. Brennan gets shot. Hitman dies in jail. 1 saved. Clark saves Chloe through 20 episodes. 31 saved. 31 dead. 36 saved. Series 208 dead. 226 saved. And now, folks, it is time for Ryan Taya's favorite scenes.
I'm going to keep all 3 scenes here on the Noir episode.
Oh, yeah, darling.
Scene 1, walking around the speakeasy. Scene 2, Jimmy shoots Lex. Scene 3, Lana's plan is uncovered and Clark shoots her.
What was 1 again?
Just walking around the Talon looking at all the people.
What's 2?
I'm gonna say number 1.
Jimmy shooting Lex.
3?
Clark shoots Lana.
I'm going to go with Lex gets shot. Tom? Wait a minute.
1.
I'm going to go 3. I think shooting Lana. 3. I was right to begin with. Son of a bee!
Ryan gets another point.
Oh,
2 for 2.
man. I don't know what to tell you. Guys, this was a crazy episode. Look, this was a quick episode, but we had a lot of fun talking about it. Noir. And look, I would say it looked great. Everybody did a great job. The costumes were extraordinary. The lighting was brilliant. The show itself, didn't, like Tom said, didn't push the story. Kind of gave you all right, that was kind of fun. I'm ready for the next episode. I would say I think Al liked it a lot. I think Al liked the Noir episode.
Fun to see Aaron
Ashmore.
What an Aaron-led story would look like.
He did a good job.
I thought he did
Meets
great.
him.
Yeah. Everybody did a great job.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tom's wearing
That
glasses.
is it for the episode. Stick around next week. We're getting near the nitty gritty here as we go to season 6, episode 21. It's Prototype. Only 2 episodes to go, folks. Let's take the discussion online. Let us know your thoughts on the episode over on our socials at Talkville Podcast or Talkville Pod. Show the support by joining Patreon at patreon.com/Talkville. We could use your help. Every little helps. If you want more information like merch from the show or a hotline number, you can find all that in the description. And remember, folks, always hold on to Smallville. We'll see you next week. All right, we couldn't do it without you. We say it all the time, but our patrons are our heart and soul. of this podcast. So thank you. And here are our top tiers and grand tiers. Leanne P, Raj C, Santiago M, Little Lisa, ThomasTomTurner, Shane W, BetsyD, Abhi P, KarenApple M, 99 more, Leilani N, Brett G, always hold on to Smallville, Charlie T, Garrett W, Bob K, Tom N, Jason W.
We were just talking about Bob before the show.
And it's Lana. Rhymes with banana.
Lana rhymes with banana W.
Yes.
JCD. Brian G, Grape Jelly 817, Amanda R, Teddy 127, Michael P, Ryan R, Randy B, Craig G, Jor L, Heather and Greg. I made Talkville say butts. Brian H, Eric K, Kristen B, Finky, Early is on time. Damn, who's that? Jeanette E, Gerald Z, Doug R, and Carlos C.
Shanna, I work hard, so my dog has a good life. Ken the Limerick Guy, Corey L, Mr. Home Arcade, Claire M, D Brown, Jules M, Elgon Supremo, Brian P, McBurts, Ginger Moose, Christoph S. Nobody puts Leah in a corner. Amanda Lynn, Jessica B, Michael Kane doesn't blink. Sebastian F, Wolfie, Matthew and Lincoln B, Mary Lou L, Caesar G, Shannon Fofana and Matt Maverick, Randy S, Cassie B, Danny Mo Mirabel, and Mary K.
Sophie L. Stephen A. Danger. When you're rich, you aren't crazy. You're eccentric. Rosenbaum fans, Sammy Sherman. Carrie Ann, the Alexander Castle. Jenny, B76, Monica T, Ms. M, Emily Wood. Emily Who Locks.
Yeah.
It makes me want to say something else. Jeffrey K, previously on Smallville. Keith B, Cookie Kareem, Libertarian.
Danny Z from Cleveland, Biagio C, Felicia B, Lady J, Madison H as told by Helen, Kelowna A, Natalia, Dr. J, Kurt F, Clois, 28, Dr. G and Dr. T, Kryptonite, Ned L, Flirtatious B, Purse 6, a Luther Corp subsidiary, Nam and L, Smallville for Life, Bobby B, Kendrick F, Stacy L, Other Brother Daryl, Melanie P, Charlie M, Cheyenne F.
AJ Sisson, Heather H, Tom and Michael's friend Mickey, Allison C, Carrie and H, we'll never know. Syrian, we never know. The Real Chunky B, that's great. Hubs, Cuban Boy, Laura C, Sarah C, Adam C, Jackie J, John W, Jet Blazer Michael, Bradley H, Laura L, Dan L of Chai Zoda, Maria P, and Licious W.
Licious W. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Patreon.com/Talkville. And we'll see you very soon.